While listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up!
Good morning.
Hello, one and all.
Mike and Josh.
Hey.
Mike and Josh.
Hey.
Mike and Josh.
Wake up.
Mike and Josh.
West Coast, wake up.
Here we go. Ready on another Tuesday.
Oh, run in the
It
back.
is great to have you here. Good morning, world, and all who inhabit it. This is Mike and Josh here exclusively on the Grid Network. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. And what a weekend we had, Josh. It was a
Dear God.
wild card weekend, was it not?
I mean, I think wild. Is this the first time that wild for wildcard weekend would be an understatement?
It might be.
Because the amount of comebacks that we had and just lead changes in the fourth quarter across the board,
Yeah.
you could not leave your seat all weekend, which was a wonderful thing.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic. We have plenty of stuff to go over today. I mean, we're giving you everything from Wild Card Weekend. Coming up in 15 minutes, and I have no idea where this is going to go, by the way, because you texted me, Josh,
Yes.
that you had a bit of a rant on Matt LaFleur.
I'm angry.
You are angry.
I'm angry. I'm angry at Matt LaFleur, and not just because my pockets are lighter, only because of the Packers.
Yeah.
Because those of you that listen to the show, I had a near perfect predictions of the entire weekend, nearly to the point of the point differentials. And the one exception was I shocked you and said the Packers were going to win. And for 3 quarters,
That was looking pretty good. Yeah.
I looked like a genius.
Mm-hmm.
More to come because I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
hold it right now because me going 5 for 6 then resulted in you going
6 for 6.
6 for 6.
And
So now on top of that, I have to deal with Mike bragging that he beat me.
That's not true. I'm not going to brag because the reason I'm not going to brag is because I was too chicken to put money on it. I didn't put money on it, and I should have.
And I did.
Which is why I was begging you to tell me pre-show, because I would have done the same thing. I would have put $10 on it too. I was begging you to tell me what the payout was for getting all 6 games right.
I mean the money line one of just money line, I was gonna get, it was something like 3,000 to 1 type. So it was like,
okay. So you would have gotten like
if I were to bet $100, I didn't bet $100 on it, but if I were to bet 100, it could have turned to 3,000 if I just did money lines.
right.
And I mean, it was even to the point, I'll just throw this out, and we're obviously going to get into it. With such back and forth, I was with a couple friends on Sunday in the middle of the Eagles 49ers game. It's late in the third quarter, and I literally said to them, it was about 2 minutes left in the fourth, I said, within 1 minute of the fourth quarter, Niners are taking the lead. And they're like, how do you bet on that? I'm like, I don't think I can make a bet like that. So I don't know. But the way this weekend's going, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
8 seconds into the fourth quarter, the Niners took the lead.
Yeah.
And they're like, what would have been the spread on that? I'm like, a lot.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get to bet on.
Well, you know what? The problem with sports betting is that if you did bet on it, you would have lost.
Right.
Not like it would it's not like if you did bet on it, you would have won. Like, no, it would have the entire outcome, it's the butterfly effect, right?
Yes.
Because you bet on it, the entire outcome of the whole world would have changed. It doesn't matter.
Right. My $10 or $20 bet all of a sudden alters everything in the world.
In the entire universe. That's just the way the world works. Speaking of rants, by the way, coming up in about an hour, top of hour number 2.
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
I need to shift the focus to baseball for like a few minutes because I have just simply had enough of this MLB offseason. And for those of you who know me or have watched my baseball show in the past, know that I am a diehard New York Yankees fan, growing up in New York and loving the Yankees with all of my heart. And they are the only team in Major League Baseball that have not signed a major league free agent outside of what their team was last year. So it's time to go ham. So in about an hour, you'll see me start screaming about my hometown New York Yankees, which, by the way, again, nothing is more important than football except for them. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's begin today with this, Josh, because this is the most recent thing that happened. What a wild game we had last night between the Texans and the Steelers, right? The Texans won that game. I think the fourth quarter. What was the score at the beginning of the fourth quarter? I believe it was
the fourth quarter was 7. At the start of the fourth, it was 7-6.
And then the Texans ended up winning that game 30-6, which is unbelievable. Texans scoring 23 points in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns on on turnovers from the Steelers. You had the Aaron Rodgers fumble, and then you had the Aaron Rodgers pick 6 at the end of the game, which could have very easily been the last NFL pass of his career.
Yep.
Again, we have no idea if Aaron Rodgers becomes Phillip Rivers 2.0 and comes back 5 years from now on a whim when he's 58 years old.
Renew that insurance. Why not?
Listen, man, that was the genius behind the whole thing.
I mean,
saying, right?
Could you imagine? I mean, it's not could you imagine, because we literally just saw it last night, but in a playoff game where a defense outscores the opposing team's offense.
Yeah.
Like Houston, because, I mean, let's be real. For about 3 quarters, at least on the offensive side, Houston wasn't playing great. Woody Marks had a great game.
God. I mean, listen, Houston, I was going to bring this up yesterday, but I figured I'd save it for the show because our good friend Bryson Carver is I'll put it in air quotes, he is a Steelers fan, right? Like, give me a break. No, you're not. You're a Cowboy fan, and you know it. Anyway, he's a Steelers.
Am I the only non-Cowboy fan on this network? I'm starting to think that.
Sort of. Yeah,
okay.
Sort of. I forget what football team you even root for. I don't even remember.
I am a Patriots and Browns fan.
Patriots and Browns. Well, you're from Massachusetts.
I'm from Massachusetts. I went to college, and I went to college at the University of Akron. I'm a proud Akron Zip. And in my 4 years in Ohio, I truly built a love for and respect for all of Cleveland teams, solely because, in my personal opinion, there are some great loyal fan bases, obviously, around the country in all different cities.
Sure.
As far as totality of your sports teams, in all the sports, Cleveland fans are the most loyal.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Obviously, there are plenty in Boston, plenty in Chicago, plenty in LA, Dallas, etc. Right. But covering all the major sports, it's Cleveland. So I always root for the Browns. We always know they're a disaster. But and obviously Cavs, I was very excited when they won years ago.
Oh my God.
And then I was soft spot, like if the Guardians are in the playoffs, and root for them as well. But yeah, so Cleveland I got a soft spot for, and trust me, I am not a fan though of either of those teams to the extent that I'm a fan of my Orlando Magic, because that is just
that's your true love.
Right, and I mean and Stuff agrees. Stuff the Magic Dragon is not in agreement right here, as he hangs out on my desk.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, see, I need more mascots on my desk here. All I have is this minion.
And that's not a mascot.
That's not a mascot. No, a minion is a living, breathing being.
What is the Cavaliers mascot? Do they have a mascot?
They do. They have 2. The Cavaliers have 2 mascots.
Wait. Why do you need 2 mascots? Why do you need a spare mascot?
Hold on a minute. So now it's ready. We have gone completely off the mark here, but now we're. Now I need to find pictures of both mascots because the Cavs have two different mascots, and they're both great. So let me just
while you're looking that up, I'll kind of circle back as far as the game itself of Texans Steelers.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, this was. I mean, what this truly was though was a like a national spotlight of Houston solely because of their defense should be considered one of, if not the favorite in the AFC, based on this dominant performance from the fourth quarter. And it really showed, maybe even more so, that it is time to rebuild the Steelers. It is time, Aaron Rodgers. It is time, Mike Tomlin. It is time. Obviously, we know Mason Rudolph is not the answer. DK Metcalf, you got to get his attitude in check. I know you just signed him.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, who knows how many more years he has. So Pittsburgh now has to regroup because we know for years they've been this level of mediocrity, but still find ways to have winning season and find ways to get in the playoffs. But when was the last time they won a playoff game? Like 8-9 years ago?
Yeah, right.
So I'm honestly surprised up to this point in the morning there's not been any news on the Pittsburgh front office front.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think here's the thing. I'm kind of surprised in a sense of like that there wasn't more noise regarding Mike Tomlin in that sense, where like, I mean, as much as some Steeler fans are like, begging for him to go.
Right.
I just don't see that happening. I just don't. Like until the guy actually like, and here's the thing. Here's the gripe is that, what is it? It's been like 7 straight postseason losses or something like that with him.
Yeah.
Is that what the number is?
Something like that.
I mean, I get the gripe with it, and they call it mediocre and all of those things. But you have to go back a long time to when Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback of this team again. And, like, they just haven't had any sort of semblance of a real quarterback. I mean, if you're winning more, if you're having an over 500 record with Kenny Pickett as your quarterback, like, I just feel like you're doing something right. Am I wrong in that respect? I mean, I just feel like Mike Tomlin's less of the issue. It's the fact that they haven't gotten, like, since Roethlisberger retired, they haven't filled the hole at quarterback for half a decade.
Oh no, I mean you're obviously that's a major factor with it. But we've seen coaches elevate backups or bridge quarterbacks to at least some success. Okay, maybe you're not getting a ring, but having some success. The last time the Steelers won a playoff game was 2016.
Yeah.
They have been one and done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 9 years.
Right.
So something eventually has to be adjusted. And if you've been trying the quarterback stuff, because we know while there hasn't been a Ben Roethlisberger, they have tried many different quarterbacks. They have signed many quarterbacks. They have tried to make trades for draft picks for many quarterbacks, and nothing has worked.
Right.
Russell Wilson did not work. Justin Fields did not work. Aaron Rodgers did not work. Mason Rudolph did not work. Kenny Pickett did not work.
Right.
So something's got to give. And what's the next step in that case? You've had so many opportunities based on, past success. Because let's be real. Yes, Tomlin, based on his wins, is a Hall of Famer. Yes, he's a Super Bowl champion. That Super Bowl happened in 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
How long does one ring allow you to be the coach of a team?
Well, that's the Doc Rivers argument, isn't it too? Is and that's a comparison.
I think that's a
I've heard
fantastic
that also.
comparing Tomlin to Doc Rivers. I think is a fantastic comparison.
I listen. There's certainly something to be said about that. And like I said, I'm not gonna, dignify the ridiculous. No, I'm kidding, but I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? I think that you can make the argument that there's a change that needs to be made, but I also think that as far as I'm concerned, I mean. I always look at this from the lens of like when John Harbaugh got fired, which again is another piece of massive news that we haven't gotten the chance to cover on this show.
Oh, that's true because it happened like just after our show last week.
Right.
I forgot about that.
But we're talking about there are guys in this league that you just don't fire.
Yeah.
I thought John Harbaugh was one of those guys.
I agree.
Now, again, I don't want to shift this all the way to John Harbaugh. I want to keep this on Mike Tomlin for a second because here's the reality. I always look at it through the lens of what are you looking to find? Like, I understand that your playoff success hasn't been great, but the elements of what you need in a head coach, stability, ability to motivate, all of those different things. Obviously, guys that can create a culture. I mean, Mike Tomlin certainly has done that in Pittsburgh. I don't think that anybody can argue that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to find that's better? You're going to fire him and hire Cliff Kingsbury? Like, you're going to fire him and hire Jim Leonard from Denver? Like, I like how you're not mentioning either John Harbaugh or Kevin Stefanski because if There's
the
no
Steelers.
shot.
Right, because if the Steelers were to take a coach within their division, it would be like total anarchy.
Right.
They wouldn't, as good as both those coaches are, we know the Steelers' mindset, they will not touch either of those two.
Right.
So yeah, to your point, is there a better coach out there? I mean, it's like, do you take the gamble on a coordinator? Like, is this the scenario where Robert Saleh gets another shot with something like that to try to bring like classic defense back to Pittsburgh? Mm-hmm. But aside from guys like him or what's the name? The Chargers defensive coordinator, Minter?
Right, Jesse Minter.
So, aside from, like one of those guys where you're, taking a gamble, hey, will they make the transition to a head coach? Because we already saw Saleh had one opportunity. Now, I don't fully blame him because it was the Jets, but
right, you can't blame anyone.
Right, but like, do you take the gamble and try to build on that? Because again, it worked for Tomlin.
Yeah, right.
So, do they try to roll that dice again, or do they try to bring in someone who had the head coaching experience? Because as we were just saying, the ones that are available right now, the best ones were your rivals that are available. So you're not going to bring any of them in. And you ain't going to bring Mike McCarthy into this.
Right.
So,
but that's my point is like Mike McCarthy is going to be the better option than Mike Tomlin. Like if Mike Tomlin got fired today, outside of John Harbaugh, he's clearly the next best candidate. Like, I just don't understand. Like, and believe me, I get the whole, sometimes you need to, sometimes you need a change of voice. I understand all that. I really do. But you also have to consider, what are you going to do without Mike Tomlin? Like, are you really just, I don't understand the idea of, culture shift can be that easy. I don't think it is. I really don't.
Right.
Especially when, if you want to go ahead and say, you know what, we have a clear vision now. We want to go whole new regime, right? New quarterback, because obviously they need – I would imagine Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. They're going to need a new quarterback unless they're really going to roll it out there with Will Howard, right, which is, a possibility. Maybe that could work. But they need a new quarterback. You get rid of Tomlin. Now you need a new coach. You're talking about completely tearing this whole thing down. The only way that would make somewhat sense to me is if they literally tore the whole roster down. It's not like they're young. This is not a young roster.
No, that's why I say it's like Pittsburgh, for the first time in God knows how long, needs to completely rebuild.
Right. And it's not like they've been a great drafting team either in recent years. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They've missed on several high-end draft picks.
Yeah.
So this is not a team with a great track record of rebuilding anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like they are kind of like the Steelers are a very steady horse in this race.
Yes.
They really are. Like Steelers are very rarely ever really bad, but you're right. I mean, they've been kind of average for a good amount of time. And Mike Tomlin is probably a good reason for that.
And I also find it just fascinating. We're talking about a team that just won their division.
Right. Exactly.
And they have to completely rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that say about that entire division?
Yeah.
What happened to the AFC North?
Yeah. Well, what happened with the Ravens this year is that one really boggles my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we've talked about it before, Josh, about like how that could have maybe been pinned on like Lamar Jackson wasn't really healthy all year.
Right.
But I mean, look, and there's like, here comes the John Harbaugh thing too. The only way that I could justify firing John Harbaugh is if Lamar said, I don't want to play for this dude anymore. Like that's the only way that I could even think about justifying that.
Yeah, and because then it comes down to, okay, so are you going to side with your star quarterback who over the last 2 years has started to show decline,
mm-hmm.
or are you going to stick with the coach that has led you guys to greatness regardless of who was under center?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if that's the case, Baltimore chose the quarterback.
Right.
So Baltimore chose the quarterback. Pittsburgh hasn't made a choice at all. Browns have clearly chosen the coach. Bengals, they just have noise-canceling headphones on because they're not budging on anything, which makes zero sense.
Yeah.
The AFC North, once upon a time, was the most feared, dominant, competitive division by a mile in the NFL.
Yeah.
And now it almost feels like how the AFC South was for so many years.
Right. Yeah. Where it just seemed like nobody was.
Whereas, like, no one in that division deserves a playoff spot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, the AFC South, you got two powerhouses in Jacksonville and Houston.
And Houston, right. By the way, with Houston, just quickly on this.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like Houston deserved to win that football game. It's just that nobody deserved to win that football game, I don't think. I mean, C.J. Stroud fumbled the ball 5 times, right? I mean, they count the bad snaps as fumbles. But, like, the interception was there. He lost 2 fumbles. I mean, the Texans did not play a clean football game at all last night.
The only besides, the incredible defense, the only sparks were Woody Marks having nearly 6 yards of carry, and Christian Kirk reminding everyone he's still in the league.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I realized until maybe week 14 that Christian Kirk was on the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Like, I totally forgot where he was.
I did too.
And
I thought he was still in the Jags. I really did.
And 8 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown, while Nico Collins, your go-to guy.
Yeah.
All right, Pittsburgh did their homework on him. He only had 3 catches, 21 yards. But they're like, oh, yeah, they had this other guy that was a previous number 1 receiver for 2 other teams, the Jags and Cardinals.
Right.
And now was just forgotten about. And C.J. Stroud, as bad as he did, still being able to find Christian Kirk and give them enough. And honestly, this kind of goes with, I can kind of compare it a little bit to Drake May, because Drake May did not play well in his playoff debut either, but he did enough to get him over that hump. And if that doesn't boost the team's morale, to the highest it's been all season, knowing we did not do our best in this playoff game, and we still won and advanced. Now we got to show people why we're here.
Right.
So both New England and Houston, that's going to be scary. And they play each other, don't they?
That's going to be a game. It really is. That's going to be a game. It's in New England, Patriots versus Texans. You want to talk about a potential defensive matchup.
Oh, yes.
Right. That's going to be something, because we saw, and we'll touch on it later, but we saw what the Patriots defense did to that Chargers offensive line. I mean, Justin Herbert was on his back all night. That was really tough to see.
Yeah.
In that respect. Now shifting the conversation to the way more important piece that we've kind of put to the side for now. The Cavs have 2 mascots, and I was able to find 2 pictures. So their first mascot is Sir CC. This is like their normal go-to mascot, and it's just this superhero looking guy. So
I mean, I don't hate the look of him. The name Super CC is...
It's not Super, it's Sir.
Oh,
Sir CC.
Well, that makes it so much better.
Sir CC.
Even though he's wearing a cape.
Right. It's not Super CC. It is Sir
It's Sir CC. Okay.
Now,
that's Sir CC.
Here's the thing. Now, here's the mascot that has everybody's heart, and including mine and including my wife's.
Okay.
It is Moondog.
See, that is a mascot. Moondog. I am all for Moondog. That is a mascot right there.
Moondog is the mascot. And there's a history lesson behind it too, right? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had a radio DJ that called himself Moondog, and the audience, the Moondoggers, and all those. There's real background behind this one. So I got my wife a small little plushie out of Moondog. Moondog is the man. No, I love Moondog.
looking at the 2 of them, there's no business that both of these mascots are for the same team.
Yeah.
Because they could not be more different from each other.
Correct.
That said, Moondog, that is 100% a mascot. Sir CC, find another job. I don't care how nice or cool you are. Don't step on Moondog's turf, man. That is Moondog's turf.
I'm telling you. I think every Cavs fan that I've ever met, which is very little, because living in New York, you just don't see very many.
I'm going to text one of my close friends. Well, we'll go to break, and I'll probably get a response from him by then. I'm going to ask him, pick one, Sir CC or Moondog, because he is...
I guarantee you that he'll say Moondog. Moondog is way better. Moondog is way, way cooler. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, when we come back...
The text has been sent. We'll wait on that update.
We'll wait on the response. Hopefully we get it during the break.
Yes.
But when we come back, we'll touch on Packers-Bears, the epic collapse. And Josh will complain and rant about Matt LaFleur and how he lost money this weekend. It's really a shame. That's coming up next here on Mike and Josh. We'll be back.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not so bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off, throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch.
Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do. Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Vol View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
Well, here we go. We are back here again for Mike and Josh. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Derriff. It's great to have you back. So, Josh, should I just hand the mic over and, let you go? I mean, it was quite the experience watching the Bears-Packers game on Saturday night, where the Bears ended up with a comeback win, 31-27, over Green Bay. A game where Jordan Love had 4 touchdown passes.
And
oh boy.
And we talked about Houston's 23-point fourth quarter. Chicago had a 25-point fourth quarter.
Correct.
So where do I start? I cannot tell you how many seasons. It's been at least 3 straight seasons now where I've had various conversations with friends, whether on podcasts or just while hanging out watching the game, where I was alone in saying Matt LaFleur is one of the best coaches. Okay, he has this team of youngsters that he is going to build, and they're just like a piece away type deal. And then they have a top 5 defense last year and add Micah Parsons this year. Now, obviously, Micah Parsons got hurt towards the end of the season. Get that. But then you had the resurgence of Josh Jacobs last year. You're developing Jordan Love into a good quarterback. You got stud wide receivers. There was no reason for the Packers to not be anything less than one of, if not the favorite in the NFL. And I would have friends that would then tell me, well, here's the problem. They have Matt LaFleur. And I was like, no, that's exactly why they would be great, because Matt LaFleur knows what he's doing, and he's a great coach. And he has it all figured out, and he could scheme and maneuver these ways because he's learned from his past experiences, and he will do what's needed to be done. Then during the regular season, you lose to Cleveland. You tie with Dallas. You lose to Carolina, who then eventually did make the playoffs and won a division. You give up a comeback loss in overtime to Chicago. And then you end the season with 4 straight losses, actually. Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, and Minnesota. But I'm still, Matt LaFleur knows what to do in the playoffs because I still believe in this guy. He's going to get it. Jordan Love got hurt at the end of the regular season. He'll be healthy to go into the playoffs. They're going to have it figured out. And then at halftime, they are ahead 21-3. Jordan Love looks like Peyton Manning. Their defense is stopping the run game, which is what single-handedly has been pushing the Bears this season. The combination of Swift and Monangai. And Matt LaFleur was the quarterback's coach for the Falcons during their 28-3 collapse in the Super Bowl. So he understands what needs to be done in this situation so he doesn't blow it again like he was part of that staff once upon a time. Jordan Love in the second half threw 29 passes.
Yeah.
I understand you don't want to fully play it completely safe and just do nothing but run the ball. I get that. He threw 17 passes in the first half where they were up 21-3. And having the lead until, a couple minutes left in the game, he threw 1.5 times the amount of passes in the second half.
Yeah, right.
Josh Jacobs wasn't working on this game. 19 carries, only 55 yards. Well, you know what you've had during the course of the season? When Josh Jacobs was either hurt or not playing well, Emmanuel Wilson balled out for them when needed.
Right.
He had 1 carry in this entire game. Like I said with the Bears, DeAndre Swift, 54 rushing yards. Monangai, 27 rushing yards. They stopped the run game. They said the only way we can lose this game is with Caleb Williams' arm. And Caleb Williams' arm made the comeback and scored 25 points in the fourth quarter to beat this team that is built to win now.
Right.
Matt LaFleur has now made me look dumb to my friends. And I don't appreciate that. Because I cannot side with this man anymore. As much as I've tried to side and support this guy on being a great coach. Because eventually, you got some stud wide receiver. Matthew Golden had the best game of his rookie season.
He did.
Some of these guys are going to be due to get paid soon, and you're not going to be able to keep all of them. Josh Jacobs, again, he had his resurgence last year. Who knows how much time he really has left? Micah Parsons will be coming back, but who knows when he'll be back because he's obviously got that.
Miss most of next season.
He's going to miss a huge. Was it Achilles? It was his Achilles, right? Or was it ACL?
I think it was ACL.
All right, so he's going to miss at minimum half of next season. And Matt LaFleur is in talks for a contract extension?
Yeah.
When we were talking coaches in the last time again, when Harbaugh, Stefanski, and some of these coordinators that we touched on are all available, and Matt LaFleur has shown, and not just this season, because he has a 3-6 playoff record, he has shown that he has not able to produce the team in the games that matter, in the games where you should win, because they should have beat Cleveland. They should have beat Dallas. They should have beat Carolina, and they didn't, which would have resulted them in obviously being a higher seed and would have won that division.
Yeah.
And you have the audacity of talking about giving this man an extension. How this man was not fired during the press conference. If they fired Raheem Morris hours after he won 4 straight, and as of right now, not only is LaFleur still the coach, but they're the talks of the possible extension. The Green Bay Packers have suddenly turned into the quietest dysfunctional franchise in the NFL. The one that has been forever so sturdy, but because they're the fan-owned one, and we all, whether, even if you're a Bear fan, you still like kind of respect the Packer landscape of their atmosphere on what they bring, being that their stadium is next door neighbors to the Joneses' house.
It is kind of true, right?
To think that Matt LaFleur, with the coaches that are available, this ain't like a Tomlin situation. With the coaches available, there are better options that you can get. And he has proven that he cannot do this. And you want to give this man an extension? If Matt LaFleur stays as the Packers coach, they will be last place in that division next year.
Wow. Okay. That's something there.
Because Bears and Lions, I think, are still there. Vikings, we know they were decimated with injuries. We know they're better than what they were. Yeah. Obviously, the question is going to be J.J. McCarthy again. Could he be healthy?
Uh-huh.
But he will not be able to bring them to the success that is expected of this team. They will only be getting worse.
That's interesting now.
They will only get worse if Matt LaFleur remains their coach.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So you are in on them being in last place next year.
If Matt LaFleur stays as their coach,
which he will,
wouldn't surprise me in the least if they are last in the division next year.
Wow. If that happens, he's gone.
He should be gone now.
If that happens,
he should be gone right now.
Now, for the record, I have never been a Matt LaFleur guy. I never have been. I thought he's been a fairly mediocre head coach for his entire tenure there. I think as Jordan Love has improved, I think I've been a little bit I think I've warmed up to him, right? The further away they got from Aaron Rodgers, the more highly I thought of Matt LaFleur. But yes, if I'm the Packers right now, I would look at this and I would say, well, we have the quarterback.
Yes, because he played fantastic.
Right. We clearly have the quarterback. We have the weapons.
Yes.
We have,
You have the defense.
You have the defense. You can protect Jordan Love at least at an average level in the NFL, right? I wouldn't say their offensive line is great, but it is fine. What's the missing piece here?
The coach. And the missing piece is the coach.
Yeah, I agree. I think
you put a Kyle Shanahan type in Green Bay, they're back-to-back champions.
But you see, like, this is the difference, Josh, for me, in like this is the difference between the Packers and the Steelers, right? To me, Mike Tomlin is what gives the Steelers stability and a consistent chance to win. Matt LaFleur feels like the reason they're being held back. Like, that's all, and that's always what it's felt like to me. Now, again, like the later Aaron Rodgers years when he was there, like that felt like, okay, Aaron's becoming a crotchety old man. He's getting weird now. like the guy's going to go to the Jets. Like that was the part that felt kind of awkward for me. And I was like, all right, like I said, the further away that Matt LaFleur got from Aaron Rodgers, the more I was willing to give him a chance. I was like, okay, like it might start piecing together now. I just don't see it. Like they were lumping him in. I remember when he got hired and they were lumping him in with like the Sean McVays and the Kyle Shanahans of like these young offensive head coaches that are so innovative and creative and like they're the new wave in the NFL. I just never like, and I understood all that, but I always felt like Matt LaFleur was more in the ilk of like Kellen Moore than he was Sean McVay. Like, that's the way it felt like for me. It just feels like he's like, okay, like he's fine. He's okay, I guess. But I never looked at Matt LaFleur as like a top tier NFL head coach. And you know what? This is a perfect time to bring this up because I shared this last week and we didn't get to touch on it. But all of these coaches still have jobs, by the way. So they are all probably going to be coaching these teams next year.
Right.
But I saw something on Twitter where it's just this. Like, now these are all the coaches in the NFC North, right? So Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, and Matt LaFleur. And it was one of those things where they were asking Grok, the new Twitter AI thing.
Oh, to like remove
something? The worst head coach from this picture. Now, I didn't see what Grok did, but I figured I would post it in our grid chat just because I wondered to see who they thought was the worst coach here.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest with you, Josh. I think it's Matt LaFleur.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Now, and here's the crazy part, is I was hearing some people say Dan Campbell. I think that's ridiculous.
It's not Dan Campbell, at least now the Lions had a ton of injuries this year, and it was, a year trying to develop brand new coordinators, which obviously we could tell specifically on the offensive side wasn't fully clicking.
Yeah.
Well, you have an opportunity of fixing that by having like a Mike McDaniel or someone come in as the offensive coordinator. We'll wait and see regarding that.
Yeah.
But I also want to take this time because I do still need to give the Bears the credit that they deserve.
Oh, yeah.
For what they did to Matt LaFleur and scoring the 25 points. Ben Johnson, all of a sudden, I know it's just season 1, so it's a short sample size. But of that photo of the division coaches, is Ben Johnson the best coach in that picture? Because he might be.
He might be. I mean, listen, there's there's an argument to be had that he is, and then there's also the case of saying, well, it's just one
season. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Because whatever happens now with the Bears, I know we'll get into our divisional round preview towards the end.
Yeah.
Win or lose against the Rams, this season is a huge success for the Bears because you won your division and you eliminated the Packers.
Yeah.
If they lose by 30, they're still going to be thrilled with the year they had.
Yeah.
And more power to them because the Bears, we concluded that they're only going up.
I think so too. And a big part of that, and here's, you ready? Here we go. This is where I lose all my credibility.
Here's
the thing, and I'm not going to go as far to say that the career arc is going to be this high. But what I will say is that how Caleb Williams looks now
yes,
is similar to how Josh Allen looked early in his career, right?
I can see that.
There were times in their career, again, when rookie second year early in their career, where they looked, again, Josh Allen's nickname is Superman for a reason, right? Like, they just do things where you're like, I can't even believe that they did that. Like, that is the most, like, they look incredible, but they're incredibly inefficient. They turn the ball over too much. They try to do too much on certain plays. That's what Caleb Williams looks like for me. If Ben Johnson is the kind of coach that can reel him in, then the Bears are going to be a real problem, because Caleb Williams looks like he could be unreal. And he already, I mean, listen, he's definitely better than he was last season. No doubt about that. There's certainly a real step in progression with Caleb Williams year one versus year two. So if they can get Caleb Williams to cut back on the turnovers and stop trying to make the big play all the time, because like even Patrick Mahomes had that issue early on in his career, right? Because he knew he could do it, but he didn't realize that he didn't need to do it every single play. I mean, that's a scary thought for the NFC North, is if Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson actually put it together.
And, I mean, the way it's been projecting, Caleb Williams could very well be a top 10 quarterback next year.
Right.
I mean, he's obviously already got into like the top half.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it could even be like top 7 the way he's been elevating.
Yeah.
So
we'll make that list one day. We'll
get that going.
We'll make that list. We'll go 1 to 32 and we'll make that list.
Yeah. The Bears, I am really happy for that franchise with what they've accomplished this year. And I'm really sad for the Packers based on they have no idea what they're doing with all that talent that they have.
You're also sad for you. Let's be.
It was a small bet. I'm not worried about that. I'm just more worried that you beat me in our picks. That the moral victory is more important. The moral victory is more important.
Oh, I got you. Okay. See, I'm upset that I didn't put money on it. But again, that's why I don't. Because I know if I do, I'll get it wrong.
But hey, the most important thing out of all of this, is my friend texting me back about the Cavaliers mascots.
Oh, here we go. This is what we're
So my close friend out here in LA, who was born and raised in Cleveland, he maybe at some point I'll show. He has a car painted in the Cleveland Browns colors. That's how diehard of a Cleveland sports fan this guy is.
Wow. Nice.
So I asked him, pick one, Sir CC or Moondog. And I quote, Moondog, Sir CC always looked corny to me. There you go.
I'm telling you, that Moondog is the favorite among Cavs fans. Cavs fans love Moondog. Sir CC is the secondary. It's Moondog.
Yes.
Listen, I'm Boston Sports Summit. This is our buddy Tim Barnard. Drake May. He is the real MVP. This ain't a legacy award, and Stafford had a very good season, but he was not the most valuable player in the NFL. That's a conversation I bet we could have.
We could, especially when they announce like the finalists for the awards, because we know he's certainly going to be one of the finalists for MVP, along with Stafford and, like we mentioned last week, probably Josh Allen. I personally feel like there should be an argument that Sam Darnold gets the third finalist vote just because of what he did with Seattle. I know the stats aren't there, but I mean it's a fair conversation. But I will tell you, Boston Sports Summit, whoever you might be.
Yeah.
Drake May certainly didn't look like the MVP against the Chargers.
He did not.
But he got those jitters out of his system and did enough for them to be able to win. And now that he got those out of his system, moving on to this battle that they're going to have with Houston.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued with that.
Yeah. Why don't we touch on that next? We'll go to break, and then we'll touch on that next. Patriots, Chargers, that game, and then what to expect with their matchup against the Texans. We'll talk about that next.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube talking the boys. So really the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these 4 teams right here, or you're like me and you love all 4 of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all 4 of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins. And, hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials, on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
You know, I got to tell you, Josh, that I don't know. Like I have a very big interest in playing piano, and I am trying to learn. I've been trying to learn over the last number of years, on and off, and it is for reasons like our break music that make me want to play piano.
It's reasons like our break music that I want to start getting into drinking martinis.
You're not a martini guy, Josh. You're not.
I haven't been, and I kind of wish I was based on that music.
Yeah. Well,
I
listen,
mean, I'm a whiskey guy, but that's martini music right there.
You're a manlier drinker than I am. I'm into fruity stuff. I'm into give me a nice vodka cran and I'll be good.
Oh,
I'm like a 20-year-old. I'm like a 20-year-old underage college girl that when I order drinks.
I'll make sure whenever the day comes where we meet up, I'll make sure I have like a Smirnoff Ice waiting for you or some garbage
you're gonna
like
ice
that.
Me? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm
gonna ice you at this point if that's your go-to drink.
Oh Lord, jeez. You know what? I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just. But yeah, bourbon. That's me. Give me a good old fashioned.
Pendleton on the rocks. I don't even need a mix. Just give me whiskey and some ice, or even just Stones, and I'm good.
Wow, really
good whiskey. Give me a smooth whiskey, and I don't need to mix with anything.
Yeah,
just like how you don't need to mix anything because of how smooth that music was for a commercial break. Back to you, Mike Guido.
Yeah, you just look like somebody who enjoys a good saxophone. Yeah, right.
I love saxophone. Saxophone's great.
I wasn't a shot. I'm just saying. That wasn't like.
I'm saying. I'm like. I don't understand.
I don't get the joke. No, it wasn't a joke. I was just saying. Drinking whiskey. You look
now. Do you prefer alto, tenor, or baritone sax? Or did you even know there were 3 different ones? In fact, there's a soprano sax as well.
Baritone sax I think is usually the go-to, but.
Do you know what a baritone sax is?
Speaking of saxophones,
do you know? That's the big one. That's the one with the low notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the difference. I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know how much you know about musical instruments.
Listen, I'm not a musical fuddy-duddy. I know. It's not saying I can read it, but
a funny-duddy. A funny-duddy.
A fuddy-duddy.
Hashtag fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, fuddy-duddy. But I just watched the movie Whiplash with my wife like last week.
Okay.
It's got to be one of my favorites now. That movie was so good. Speaking about saxophones, I can't say some of the one-liners that are in that movie on the air without fear of any of my future endeavors. But they
well, you ready? You ready? And I'm going to show you why I'm considered the segue king. You want to talk about Whiplash? How is Justin Herbert feeling today?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you see that? That's good. Josh.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You know what? Waste no more time. Patriots with a 16-3 win over the Chargers. And we won't go too in depth on this, but I mean, Justin Herbert was sacked 6 times. The pressures was even crazier. Now again, this is a Charger O-line that's banged up. They haven't had a good year, right? Joe Alt has been out most of the year. It just hasn't been a great year up front for the Chargers. They have really struggled protecting Justin Herbert. But I think the bigger thing here, Josh, is Drake May, right? Like Drake May did not look like, and again, it's not like he had a clean pocket all day either. I mean, the New England offensive line did not play great either, but Drake May in his first playoff game did not impress. But what are we coming away with between the Patriots and the Chargers with that one?
We are coming away with Drake May had the type of game that he should have had for his trajectory. Mm-hmm. He, again, like we already touched on, he did not play well. You've touched on that. He was not good. What were his exact stats? 17-19, 268, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
17-29, right?
Yeah. Did have 66 rushing yards, however, which is quite a bit for a quarterback. But again, the Chargers defense has been a top-tier defense through the league because that's what's kept them alive during the season based on the woes of the offensive line. Because I want to point out, because they did this during the Sunday night game. You know how they show, like the graphics when they announce the lineups and their PFF ranks.
Yeah.
The Pro Football Focus. So I kid you not, 4 of the offensive line, I am reading these verbatim. Their right tackle, PFF rank 35 out of 36 for the Chargers.
Yeah,
the Chargers right guard, PFF ranked 36 of 37.
That's what
their left tackle, 38 of 38, and their center, 36 of 36.
Yeah. Brutally bad.
How can anyone blame this on Justin Herbert?
No,
but that's the thing. But everyone is throwing at it because it's like, oh, now this was Justin Herbert's third playoff game. He's 0 for 3. He's only thrown 2 TD passes in his 3 playoff games. 2024, he threw 4 picks. Yes, he had a terrible game last year in the playoffs.
Under Brandon Staley, might I add.
Right. No, 2024 was that was still Harbaugh, wasn't it? This is Harbaugh's second year.
It is Harbaugh's second year. Correct.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was thinking.
So 2024, and he'll be the first to admit he just had a terrible, terrible game there. Okay, fine. Because now they're thinking, now there's 3. So now we have a good sample size. He cannot win in the playoffs. I just read to you how his offensive line, everyone was the worst or next to worst in the entire league in those positions. Mm-hmm. So you can't blame him for getting the ever-living crap beat out of him by this hungry Patriots defense in the freezing cold weather, while, mind you, still recovering from that broken hand.
Yeah, right.
He still wasn't 100% from that. And on top of that, your running back goes down early in the game.
Right.
So I don't blame Justin Herbert at all. I think the Chargers are going to be fine. They got good young talent. Their defense is great. Amari and Hampton come back healthy. Offensive line, more importantly, come back healthy. Chargers, I think, are going to be just fine next season. But again, the story is how ahead of schedule these Patriots are.
Certainly. And I will say this, too. One more thing on the Chargers is that you could tell that it wasn't just Justin Herbert not having any time to throw, right? Whenever he did have time to throw, that New England secondary swallowed them up like you wouldn't believe, right? Ladd McConkey, 3 of 32. He was their leading receiver that game. Aronde Gadsden, who's their young tight end that they really, really like over there, 3 catches for 30 yards. Keenan Allen, 3 for 25. Quentin Johnston, 3 for 20. Trey Harris, 2 for 20. Like there was nothing there. Like it was just not a great performance by the Charger receiving core, but that kind of ties into, Josh, what this Patriot team looks like right now. They can really control the game. I mean, this is a team, I think, that really does a good job running the football, right? Ramondre Stevenson had a very nice game given the limited volume that he was given, but Ramondre Stevenson and then obviously Travion Henderson adding another element to that running game as well. It just gives them so many different options. And they have some receivers that have just emerged as real NFL receivers.
Yeah, because Stephon Diggs
Booty has been their number 1 guy all year.
Right. Stephon Diggs has turned into kind of an afterthought. So when you have him as an afterthought, that's when he explodes.
Right.
Like you say, Kayshon Boutte has become a top receiver for them. Hunter Henry has turned into like a top 5 tight end in the league, based on how Drake May has been thrown to him.
Right.
And I mean, and then when needed, you got. I know DeMario Douglas did nothing in this particular game, but he is your deep threat guy.
Right.
So
you have Efton Chisholm, who is clearly the next Julian Edelman, but.
Did you hear the stat that they said during the game with Efton Chisholm? Because he had that one big catch, and all of a sudden they brought up he is second all-time in receiving yards in Eastern Washington University history behind Cooper Kupp. I was just like, why did we need that stat?
The University of White Wide Receivers is clearly Eastern Washington University. It's unbelievable.
But it just, I remember like listening to the game. I'm like, did they just put Efton Chisholm and Cooper Kupp in the same sentence based on their college?
Yeah. How else do you put Efton Chisholm and Cooper Kupp in the same sentence?
But again, to your point, we talk about all the offensive weapons, and we know they've built up their defense, like you said. 6 sacks. They also did get a fumble recovery during the game. They are hungry, and they, obviously can thrive in the cold weather, being they play up in Foxborough and will also always play in New Jersey and Buffalo. So the cold is perfectly fine for them.
Certainly, yeah.
And now they're going to host one of the, with the exception of Denver's defense, probably the only other defense that statistically was better than them in these playoffs in Houston. So, I mean, we've already kind of brought up that matchup a few times today. Are you and I in agreement that one is like the tastiest matchup this weekend of New England and Houston?
So. I think so. That one's going to be the interesting one to watch, because I really think it's going to be defense versus defense.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it seems like to me. Now, I think if you're asking me, I think the Texans defense is a bit scarier, but I just think New England is so well coached, and I just they are going to be so they're going to have a better game plan for this game. I don't know. I think New England just feels like a team that's they're ahead of schedule, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily not ready for it. Like, they're a team that looks like they're ready for success. So,
yep. And by the way, in case you were curious, as of right now, the weather app is saying Foxborough on Sunday afternoon will be 36 with snow showers, and it will feel like 26 degrees.
Yes, it's going to be cold as hell.
Going to be cold and potentially snowy.
Yeah.
That's building for a great defensive playoff game.
Right. But that could also be an issue for both quarterbacks, too.
Oh, for sure.
You're talking about it's not like, listen, Drake May plays in New England, but it's not like he's got that much experience playing in cold weather.
No,
right?
But he is definitely a better mobile quarterback than CJ Stroud is.
Certainly.
So this is going to come down to, based with that weather, Travion Henderson, I think, as good as the defense Houston is, I think he could be the star of their game next week. And I'm not saying 150 yards something. I'm talking about 85 yards and a touchdown type game.
Yeah.
And because if the snow happens as currently predicted, it's going to be a lot of running, and then it's going to be between Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, Travion Henderson, or Ramondre Stevenson. I lean towards the Patriots running game, because then you also got Drake on top of it.
I agree. I'm with you 100%. All right. We'll head into, we've already leaked into it, but we are already headed to hour number 2.
And we need you to talk about the Yankees.
I do.
I need to take a step back, sip on this martini that I've started taking up based on our commercial interludes, and listen to you be angry at the Yankees.
Yeah. Just listen, I'll grab my Cosmopolitan and sit back.
That's not making it better. That is not. You're not helping yourself.
I'm kidding. I don't drink strawberry banana daiquiris, maybe, but not Cosmopolitans. God, I'm not a full-blown woman. Give me a break. Anyway, hour 2 coming up next.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you Not So Bland was here
to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off. Throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some CanFan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
You are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up!
Hour number 2.
I mean, you want to talk about buckling up. I'm buckling up right now for the start of hour 2, and all of you need to be doing that as well, because as soon as this music stops, Mike Guido is about to go off.
Let's run it back! Run it back!
Go.
Welcome back here to Mike and Josh. Listen, we spent all of our first hour talking about NFL football, and I don't know about you, Josh, but I am just tired of talking about NFL football. Got to tell you.
Oh no, I can talk about it for more. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I know,
Why?
me too.
Yeah.
But I have to get this out.
Yes.
I have to get this out.
I'm going to sit back. I might even just mute myself, because
Sit back, relax.
Yeah.
And
so, well, let me I'll lead you in, and then you go from there, because Mike, usually a day or two before we do these shows, Mike and I are texting each other about, what do we not want to talk about. Obviously, we know we're talking about NFL playoffs and this and that, and Mike led it off with the following text. He said, before I even reached out to him about, hey, what do we want to talk about? He just texted me and said, I'm going to have a full-blown Yankees rant tomorrow. And I say, go right ahead.
You do. You did say that.
So,
You'll
Mike Guido,
see
the floor is yours.
I'm going to explode.
Yes. So, go ahead.
Oh, here we go. So, here's the thing. Like I said before, for those of you who know me, or have watched my baseball show in the past, or are fans of this show and understand what where my fandom lies, I'm a diehard New York Yankee fan more than I am a fan of any other team. Okay. I'm a bigger Yankee fan than I am a Cavalier fan. I'm a bigger Yankee fan than I am a Cowboy fan. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I live and breathe New York Yankee baseball all year round. It's not like when baseball season ends, I stop paying attention to the Yankees, because I still do. Now, for people that have followed baseball this year, you understand how slow this offseason has been. It has been remarkably slow. Okay, the winter meetings were virtually a dud, right? You got like two big signings during the winter meetings, right? Where Kyle Schwarber ended up going back to the Phillies. Pete Alonso ended up leaving the Mets to go to the Orioles. Like, it really wasn't a lot of action going on. And now, since then, it has been very, very quiet. I mean, we're still looking at, I can even pull it up right here. We're still looking at some of the top free agents that are still out there, right? Kyle Tucker is still unsigned. Cody Bellinger, Framber Valdez, Bo Bichette, Ranger Suarez. Like, some of the big free agents are still out there to be signed. Here's the thing. The Yankees right now have been unbelievably quiet. And it is because they have been working tirelessly on trying to bring back Cody Bellinger, who they loved last year. And believe me, I loved him too. I thought he was a great fit. I'd love to have him back. Cody Bellinger's agent is Scott Boras. And Cody Bellinger's ask is in the 7 to 8 year neighborhood, between $210, $250 million. I'm sorry, I can't get there. And if they're not moving off that number and they're going to keep dragging it along further and further and further out, then guess what? The Yankees have to move on, because the Yankees offer is around 5 years, anywhere between 150, 160 million, which I think, in my eyes, is a fair deal. Here's my issue. If I hear one more time that the Yankees are interested in somebody, or they've checked in with somebody, or they've had discussions about somebody, I'm going to lose my marbles. I really am. I am so tired of hearing that the Yankees are interested in players and then proceeding to do nothing. Like, I don't understand this obsession with not being able to do anything in your offseason until you hear anything about Cody Bellinger. If Cody Bellinger isn't cooperating, then you move on. You move on. I don't understand what this is all about. Like, Kyle Tucker is the better player. We understand that Cody Bellinger was a great fit for the Yankees last year. He would continue. If he was to come back and be a great fit for us again, I understand all of that. But let's not pretend like Cody Bellinger is the only piece you need to be successful. Okay, you're the New York Yankees. I don't understand why, and I get that this has now become cliche in Yankee land, but you have to start acting like the Yankees. Like, I just don't get what changed. What changed in their philosophy? It just doesn't feel like the same sense of urgency that we've come to know as Yankee fans. It doesn't feel that way. You're hanging your hat on the offseason on Cody Bellinger, who, again, like I said, I loved last year. But the Cubs ate like a giant portion of his contract last year just to get rid of him. You traded for Cody Bellinger, and all you had to give up was Cody Poteet, who they ended up DFAing like a month later. That's what you're holding your offseason on? You can't do anything else until that resolves. I can't sit here and continue to just, like, here's the thing. They just recently the report came out. The Yankees are now, it was Buster Olney, ESPN, right? Yankees are operating as of right now that Cody Bellinger is going to sign elsewhere. Okay, great. They might pivot to go try to sign Bo Bichette or try to sign Kyle Tucker. Well, guess what? It's kind of too late for that. Bo Bichette, I'm going to anticipate that Bo Bichette is going to sign in the next 2 days or so with the Philadelphia Phillies because they hired Don Mattingly, who he loved in Toronto. I can't imagine that he's not going to sign with Philadelphia now. I think he's going to go to the Phillies. Kyle Tucker's market has essentially been narrowed down. You're so behind in those talks. It's been narrowed down to Kyle to the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Blue Jays. It's those three teams in for Kyle Tucker. I mean, listen, people always say things can change with one phone call. It takes time to court these free agents, to have these conversations. These contracts don't happen overnight. You're so behind in the rest of your free agency and the rest of your discussions because you've been hung up on trying to make it work with Cody Bellinger that now you've made it almost impossible for you to pivot. I just don't understand what it is that the Yankees feel like they are doing at the moment where they just don't have the same level of urgency to improve this roster. I don't get it. Right? You have Yankee fans arguing about whether or not it was a good idea to give Trent Grisham the qualifying offer. It shouldn't matter. Trent Grisham hit 35 home runs for the Yankees last year, and people are saying that it's a bad thing to have him back because you can't sign anybody else. There's a real deep-rooted issue here with the Yankees, and I am just sick and tired of needing to suffer through the same crap every single season, every single offseason, where you know the moves you have to make are so obvious. But for some reason, you have to think you're smarter than everybody, and you don't do them. You have to outsmart everybody in the room. I can't. I'm serious. I'm going to give myself a conniption. Like
I need the ability to play our jazz music interlude when you get on rants like this to try to help calm you down.
Let me see. Am I?
Oh, it's got to be pushing 150.
Let's see. I'll measure it.
Okay.
What time is it? 12:27?
Yes.
Let's see. We're almost there. 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 99%. And we are at, giving everybody a look at my internal health. We are at 100 right now.
100 beats per minute?
100.
Honestly, that's much lower than I thought it would be based on how you're acting.
Yeah.
I find this fascinating in regards when I compare, Yankees and Yankee fans to Lakers and Laker fans. And what I mean by that is the second there's a name that we know is going to be a big free agent or a name that, it appears, they're wanting to be traded, the immediate thought is, how are the Lakers going to make this work in the NBA to bring this guy in? And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But they always seem to be in the conversation. And for many, 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 many years, when there's a coveted free agent in baseball, the team that always pops up is, well, will the Yankees bring this guy in for this or for that? Now, over these last, 7-8 years, it's been more so other Dodgers, Mets, Rangers, Blue Jays, etc. Now Orioles, getting Pete Alonso. So what I find so fascinating is all of a sudden in baseball now it's not just the Yankees, and the Yankees maybe even as so far out to say passing on some people, that now Yankee fans, where once upon a time they were in talks for everybody, and now when all of a sudden they're not, they are going bonkers.
Yep.
So it makes me start thinking Steinbrenner mindset. Now, how long has it been since George Steinbrenner passed away, and now it's his son running the team? How long has it been?
Passed in. Let me.
It's like over a decade now, I think, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely over 2010.
So 15 years now.
Yeah.
So we have seen, because now obviously there's a large enough size, the transition of going after everybody, and slowly that started fading more and more. And now, as crazy as it sounds for a high market baseball team, it almost feels like they're trying to be a little more cost efficient by not going after everyone.
Yep.
And that drives Yankee fans mad.
I don't need them to go after everyone. I need them to not be what they are right now, which is the only team in Major League Baseball who hasn't signed an outside free agent to their Major League roster. Like, that is the thing that drives me crazy. And I know that there are people out there that said, well, listen, Mike, it's not like they've missed out on anybody. Like, all the guys that they could potentially want are still out there. Yeah, I know. You're right. But outside of Cody Bellinger, who are the Yankees interested in? Anybody? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they listen, they're going to go and try and trade for people. Okay, that's great. Call me when those happen, because trades are tough right now in Major League Baseball because everybody's prices are ridiculously high.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and tell me that everything's going to be fine. Like, the sense of urgency that Yankee fans have now is especially heightened because guess what? Aaron Judge is 34 freaking years old. How many great, unbelievable years does Aaron Judge have left? I don't know. If you're not going to win now, when?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm, and I swear to God, if I have to see one more year where Anthony Volpe is my shortstop, I am.
Is there a shortstop that is potentially available that could replace Volpe? Bo Bichette. Okay.
Bo Bichette.
Within division.
And Bo Bichette's actually a pretty good fit because Bo Bichette can play shortstop for a year. There's another young shortstop in the Yankee system that they really like, George Lombard Jr., who they really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
If they want George Lombard Jr. to play shortstop, that's great. Bo Bichette isn't a great defensive shortstop, so have Bo Bichette play shortstop for 1 year. Or, again, when Stanton undeniably gets hurt this year, unfortunately, because I love him, but when he undeniably gets hurt this year, you can have Bichette DH. You could move him in other places. You could have a different defensive shortstop, Jose Caballero, something like that in that spot. And then guess what? Next year, not this coming year, but the following year, when George Lombard Jr. is ready to come up to the big leagues, guess what? He can become your everyday shortstop. Then you move somebody like Bichette to third base or second base or whatever. You just make the moves that make your team better and then figure it out. I just don't understand.
Who are the top potential suitors for Bo Bichette that have been, besides obviously Toronto trying to bring him back?
Toronto, the Phillies have become the favorite. Because the Phillies, like I said, they hired Don Mattingly, who was with the Blue Jays last year, who Bo Bichette loved working with. And they just the Phillies had a meeting with Bo Bichette yesterday. So my guess is that Bo Bichette in the next day or two is going to sign with the Phillies.
Okay.
Because usually when stuff happens this late and they have a meeting like that, something's going to happen. I think Bo Bichette's going to sign with the Phillies very soon.
So, yeah, because I guess my thought with that, because I'm also thinking the mindset of, you don't want to lose one of your top players to a division rival. So if Bo Bichette is leaning more towards being away from Toronto,
mm-hmm.
If he goes to Philly, he ends up going to Philly. But to your point, if that is unequivocally the best fit for the Yankees right now, as far as a free agent grab, why would they not be trying to take this swing and offer a little more than whatever Philly's offering? More so, not to prevent Philly, but to ensure you take him away from the team that just got to the World Series in your own division.
Right. See,
So,
now you get it.
Well, no, I understand how free agency works, Mike. I understand that.
But now you're seeing, oh, wow, we just got breaking news in baseball, by the way.
Did Bo Bichette just sign with Philly?
No.
Right now?
No, but this is actually something that is like, this has been on the cusp of happening for years now. But the Arizona Diamondbacks are acquiring Nolan Arenado from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
That is wild. So the deal's done. I'll have a return at some point.
They got to think of something to compete with the Dodgers and Padres.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and listen, I don't know that Nolan Arenado is necessarily going to do that, but
no, but something's better than nothing.
Something is certainly better than nothing. All right. Come back. We will I don't know. We'll talk about football again. Well,
I mean, yeah, we got to break down what is happening in Philly with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then also get our picks for divisional.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to
you need to you take a breather.
I need
get a hot towel.
Yeah, right. I need a sip of water. All right. We'll come out. So we'll be back.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube, talking the boys. So really, the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these four teams right here, or you're like me and you love all four of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all four of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins, and hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials, on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
All right, welcome back. Yes, nice and blissful and relaxed.
Welcome back.
Welcome
to
back,
Mike and Josh. This Tuesday.
Mike and Josh here on the Grid Network. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. So I'm still working on it. Simmering down now. It's some, we'll get there. By the way, it looks like the return for Nolan Arenado is Jack Martinez, and I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of cash heading Arizona's way to handle that monstrosity of a contract. Certainly seems to be that way. Okay, so let's talk about the Eagles. And boy, does this bring me joy because
well, since you're a Cowboy fan, I get it brings you joy.
It brings me joy. Boy, did they end the season poorly. They really good to end the season, Josh. Taking a loss in the playoff game, 23-19 over the against the 49ers.
I think they were 4.5 point or 5 point favorites going in.
Yeah.
And you and I both correctly said the Niners would go in and pull off the upset.
I thought it was without a doubt. The Niners were going to take that game. Now you've got a lot of Eagle fans, Josh, saying, is Jalen Hurts even that good? And I honestly think that that's a real conversation to have. I really do.
I don't like that question yet. It is clear as day that Kevin Patullo is not good as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Hurts' stats, not just this, I mean, you could look throughout the entire season, but if I just look at the last 5 games, in the last 5 games, he only got over 200 passing yards once, and in that game, he threw 4 picks. He only surpassed 300 passing yards once this season.
Yeah, 3,200 yards total.
And in addition, though, it's not like it was because he took a backseat to Saquon this year, because this was definitely a huge down year for Saquon.
Right.
And again, I'm not blaming Saquon. Just Kevin Patullo just didn't know what to do with these guys. And when you have that, and then you start the season with, I think it was Jalen Carter getting ejected on the first play of the season. And then the whole A.J. Brown fiasco, where all of a sudden he's the man of the ball, angry, and then has, 3 crucial drops in this game?
Yeah, right.
With Sirianni arguing with him. Eagles got some explaining to do because the Niners came in. We already knew how depleted they've been all season. And then George Kittle tears his Achilles. And they still find ways to get the ball to DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah.
You have Juwan Jennings throwing a touchdown pass.
Right.
And Christian McCaffrey, the guy who should have been the one that was hurt all year for the Niners, has been the healthiest one.
I know. And I traded him away in fantasy just for the expectation that he was going to get hurt. And
which so many people do. And then there's just 1 out of every 4 years where that person gets burned because he stays healthy.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, the Eagles, you got to fix the offensive coordinator spot. You got to do that. Because Jalen Hurts should be throwing the ball more. It is time to move on from A.J. Brown because he clearly does not want to be there. And Devontae Smith is a legit number 1 receiver, so you still have a good guy and you can get stuff for A.J. Brown.
Right, yeah.
Tank Bigsby can be a bona fide contributor to any team.
Yeah.
And you only gave him 4 carries in this game, but he had 19 yards with those 4 carries.
Yeah.
So they certainly can bounce back, but with Dallas showing the improvements that they did towards the end of the season, Washington will be better than they were this year because of all just the injuries that they depleted with.
Yeah, right. Can't
and
get worse for Washington.
Right. Well, it can't get worse for the Giants either. They could only get better, and you're bringing back, Dart and Scattaboo and Malik Neighbors come back healthy. This ain't going to be a walk in the park for the Eagles next year.
Yeah.
So I think what happens next season, whatever adjustments they make, that could spell questions to either Jalen Hurts and, more importantly, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I think that was the big one. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up because I have never been a Nick Sirianni guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never have been. First of all, I think he's a tool. I really do. I think he's just, and to be honest, like he kind of perfectly fits in Philadelphia for that reason, right? But I agree with you in the sense that they got to move off A.J. Brown. They have to move off A.J. Brown. And that situation has soured enough to where.
And how much has A.J. Brown himself damaged what the Eagles can get in return?
I'm sure a bunch.
Yeah,
I'm sure a bunch.
All of a sudden now, can they get a third-round pick for him?
I don't know
the way he's at. Right.
I don't know that they can.
And he's like a top 7 wide receiver in the league.
I think you're going to see a lot. I think that the return that you could see for A.J. Brown is a lot what the Cowboys got for Amari Cooper. I think it could be like a 4th-round pick and maybe like a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick for A.J. Brown in like a 5th or something. It'll be something like that.
Right. Like right now, I think the only player that the Eagles could get for A.J. Brown is Ja Morant. That's all I think they can pull off right now.
Well, listen. Yeah. They'll take on the Grizzlies would take on a bad contract.
Oh, they've done it before.
Ja Morant too. Yeah, that's right. Oh boy. But yes, I agree. I look, they certainly need to figure out a different offensive philosophy heading into next season. And I really like what you said about that it isn't going to be a cakewalk for them in the division next year. It really isn't. Because based on how they ended this year, I mean, things they really do have to kind of retool a little bit. And I think that with 2 first-round picks and some money to play with, I genuinely think the Cowboys could be pretty good next year. I really believe that. You know what I mean? If they can figure out, if the Cowboys can figure out how to fix their defense, right? They hire the right defensive coordinator. They invest with their draft picks and their cap space into that defense. They get
the draft picks and the money. You got to draft secondary and maybe another O-line guy.
Maybe I wouldn't say O-line, but give me an edge rusher or something. You got to. They need to figure out something to do with their defense. But yeah, look, this is not going to be an easy. Obviously, depending on what the Giants do with their head coach, Malik Neighbors comes back next year with Jackson Dart,
and they got what, the 4th pick?
Yeah, 5th.
5th pick.
5th. But Lord knows what they could use that on, and that's that. You want to talk about an underrated defensive line pass rush group. The Giants certainly have that with Burns, and Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter, and Dexter Lawrence. I mean, that's a very, very talented group. And then again, Washington was just in the NFC Championship game last year, so it's not like they're too far down the hole.
And they get a top 10 pick now, and Jaden Daniels comes back healthy. Okay, well, I think Washington's biggest thing right now is they need to improve their running game.
They do.
So
so.
Whether it's in the draft or you try to bring someone in, you get a healthy Jaden Daniels, you improve your running game. They're back in the mix too.
They need help on the offensive side of the football big time.
Yeah,
they really do. Receivers, running game, they need a lot of help on the offensive side of the football. But anyway, how do we feel about San Francisco right now? Right? Like the 49ers did not run away with this football game, right? They now have to go to Seattle. I mean, is this I don't know, man. Like I didn't leave that game feeling all that confident about San Francisco either.
Well,
Brock Purdy certainly didn't look like his best.
Well, again, Philly's, as abysmal as their offense has been this year, it's the reason that they've done what they've done was because of their defense. That's been the theme of today's show.
Yeah.
Teams had some really good defense in the playoffs. And obviously it didn't help things with Kittle going down.
Yeah.
So I can, see again, Kyle Shanahan finds ways.
Yeah.
And that's why he is considered such a brilliant coach, as opposed to Matt LaFleur, who, if you're just joining us, watch the first hour. So that's why, and we'll get into our picks in our last segment for the divisional round. Brock Purdy, as long as he manages it, Kyle Shanahan will figure it out. And I mean, we saw early in the season where all of a sudden Mac Jones was able to lead them, thanks to Kendrick Bourne. This game against the Eagles, it was DeMarcus Robinson and wide receiver Kyle Juszczyk. I mean,
yeah, right.
So he figures out ways to keep them to compete. And you look across the board, honestly, there weren't many people besides you and I that were on the Niners' side for this matchup.
No.
And it's probably going to be the same when they go to Seattle against a familiar foe. So we'll have to, we'll save it for our last segment.
We will.
But the Niners keep finding ways.
They do. They certainly do. And it's easy to do that when Kyle Shanahan's your head coach.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to our last break. We'll make predictions. See if any of our minds have changed on the potential matchups heading into the divisional round. We'll head that up next.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you Not So Bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off, throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch.
Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been, just I'm Alex Rodriguez because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Patrick. We are back here on Mike and Josh, exclusively on the Grid Network. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. All right, Josh. So we got about, 3 minutes or so. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Let's tackle some of these games for the divisional round. Now, again, because we were so good.
Yes, I do just want to, interrupt you just real quick because there was a tweet that Adam Schefter just retweeted. Not sure what type of impact it would be, but it is some news. Kevin O'Connell, coach of the Vikings, at his end-of-season press conference announced that his assistant head coach, Mike Pettine, is retiring. So there will be an assistant coaching spot open for Minnesota. So if one of these coaches that were fired wants to find another spot, they could be joining the NFC North because apparently a spot on Kevin O'Connell's coaching staff has just opened up.
I really like Kevin O'Connell as coach.
Yes.
Really.
So you got a chance to work with him?
Yeah.
Might want to take that.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, so we'll kind of quick hit these. And it's interesting because we did so well with our predictions last week that we kind of predicted these matchups already, in a sense. But let's take a look and see how we feel at this point with these matchups. We'll go in order. Okay, so Saturday at 4:30, it's Buffalo and Denver. It is in Colorado. Denver right now opening is 1.5 favorites. Really not a big favor in this matchup between a 1 and a 6 seed. What do you think, Josh? Buffalo and Denver.
I said this last week, and I have to continue it. I cannot bet against Josh Allen unless he's playing against Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. So as amazing as Denver's defense is, as great as Sean Payton is, I have to take Buffalo going to Denver, just like they did in Jacksonville. It will probably be, again, going down to the fourth quarter and Buffalo winning this game. I'll go along the lines of 27-24.
Yeah. So we're starting off with a disagreement.
Of course we are. Well, we knew this one coming in because this last week that we differed on here too.
I really think the Denver Broncos are just so good, especially on the defensive side of the football. I think it's going to be a total change of pace to what Buffalo experienced this past week with Jacksonville. I just don't think Denver gives you the amount of breathing room that Jacksonville does. I just don't. They are so strong defensively. Obviously, Denver is very, very well coached. Bo Nix, who, again, does not have the playoff experience, but has played in several big games in his football career. I don't think it's going to shake him. I think Bo Nix is that kind of player. I just think it's going to be Denver. I think it's going to be a bit of a lower scoring game. Give me like 23-20 Denver on a game-winning field goal. Like, I think it's going to be that sort of game. And listen, what we saw with Josh Allen last week, I mean, Josh Allen was shaken up a little bit.
He was.
So we'll see how he comes back from that. Listen, nothing would make me happier than if the Bills ended up winning that football game, but I got Denver winning that game.
All right.
We go to Saturday night, the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Again, both 1 seeds playing on Saturday, Josh. What do you think? Niners, Seahawks.
So Seattle is currently, according to ESPN, favored by 7.5.
Yeah.
And this game is going to go one of two ways. Seattle is either going to win by 30 or the Niners are going to win a nail biter.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any in between there. And I was super confident about the Niners until George Kittle went down.
Yeah.
Because it's
a big hit.
That's such a huge hit with all the injuries the Niners have had to now have that one. Again, I go back, though. The issue is, and I mentioned this last week, we have not, with the exception of that one game earlier in the season against the Rams, we have not seen Sam Darnold play well in a high-pressure game.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And Seattle is better on the road than at home, which makes no sense, but they are. So my head is telling me Seattle's definitely the safe pick here. My heart is saying Kyle Shanahan figures it out. I don't know how. I don't know why, especially with no Kittle. But my heart is telling me to go with the Niners. And I have a feeling I'm going to be wrong there, but I have to stay with my heart, and I'm going with the Niners pulling off the upset.
Well, it isn't crazy, right? I mean, what the Niners have spent a lot of time. George Kittle's been hurt a lot in his career, so it's not like it's something that they're not used to. Plus, John Tonjes has actually been very solid.
Yes,
as a tight end in George Kittle's place. I do think Seattle is a very well put together football team.
Mm-hmm. They are.
I think they're going to show up defensively. I think that's a team that could really, really give the Niners fits just as far as game planning is concerned. Believe it or not, I know that the Niners have Christian McCaffrey, but I really think Seattle can control the pace of this football game with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that they do a really good job platooning them, running the football. Jackson Smith and Jigba has just been so good for Seattle this year.
Yeah.
I still think it's the Seahawks. I think they're very, very good. I think they're going to take advantage of the Niners, who are a bit shorthanded. I think it's going to be the Seahawks. It'll be a close game, but I think it'll be the Seahawks.
And what are you going with the score? So mine, I will think it's going to be more defensive than they were anticipating, and I will take the Niners 20-17.
I will say Seattle 27-21.
Okay.
27-21. All right, we go to Sunday. The Houston Texans and the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Patriots right now 3-point favorites in New England. What do we think, Josh? Houston against New England.
Here's one bold take for this game. Both teams will have a defensive score.
I like that. I actually like that.
I can definitely see that. I know we've been tiptoeing around this game all show because this is the one that I think you and I are just most excited to watch for the defensive purposes. Patriots favored by 3. I think as great as Houston's defense is and as successful as they've been, I think, as I mentioned earlier, Travion Henderson is going to be the X factor in this game.
Yeah.
And I will go Patriots win this one 27-20.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. That's a good, I like that. Okay. So I agree. I think it's the Patriots that win it. I think they're simply going to run the football better, especially if they're going to be playing in the elements.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Patriots right now are a better coached football team. That doesn't mean I think the Texans are bad. I think DeMeco Ryans is a very
he's
solid
done
NFL head coach.
Tremendous job with that.
Very, yeah, right. I agree. The Texans defense is what will keep them in this game. I really believe that. They will keep Drake May limited. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring football game. I think this is a game where we could maybe see 1 or 2 touchdowns in it total. I'm going to take the Patriots 16-10 in this game over the Texans.
All right.
All right.
Lastly,
our last one, the Rams and the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago. I'm sure it is going to be brick out there in Chicago.
Let me, you go first, and I will look up the weather.
Yeah, the Rams right now are 4-point favorites in this game against the Bears on the road, and for good reason. I think it's going to be the Rams. If they're healthy, if Stafford is healthy, I just think this offense is just too overpowered. I think it's just going to be so. It's going to be such a mismatch in that respect. The Bears secondary has been fairly solid for them this year. They've done a really good job at taking the ball away, but I really think that the Rams offense can take advantage of this one. Again, the exact opposite of what we're going to see, I think, in Houston and New England. This one's going to be higher scoring. I think you're going to see like a 38-33 game for the Rams beating on the Bears. I think the Rams take it.
So he's at 33-30?
38-33.
38-33. Sunday night, it's projected right now to be cloudy and around 16 degrees.
Hooey!
And that is not counting wind chill.
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier in the show, regardless of what happens in this game, Bears season is already an astounding success. You won your division. You knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. You have done an incredible job. We're going to get more fourth quarter heroics from the Bears, but it will finally come up short. And I'm very close to your pick. I have Rams winning this 34-30.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be that kind of game.
So you and I are in agreement on Sundays and disagree in both games on Saturday.
Yep, pretty much.
All right.
All right, that does it for us. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. It is great to have you here on the Grid Network. Catch us every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hold on. We had just one. I mean, it's a little breaking news, but Shams just tweeted, and I quote, "Fascinating development. The Mavericks are having renewed Davis trade talks with multiple interested teams. Source said if moved to a playoff contender, the return timeline could allow Davis to return during the postseason because Anthony Davis is likely to undergo surgery to repair the ligament damage in his left hand to miss several months."
Wow.
And yet they could still potentially trade him to someone to have him available in the postseason. What team is going to take that gamble?
I don't know.
That'd be willing. Hey, we're going to trade for this guy because we're in win now mode, and he might not even be available for us this year.
The Lakers.
So yeah, bring him back.
Could you imagine?
They'll send Maxi Kleba back to Dallas.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God.
You know what? This whole Luka thing isn't working out. You know, just
honestly, and I wouldn't be shocked at this. What if Boston gave it a shot? Because they're exceeding expectations this season.
They are.
So if all of a sudden you can have him for the playoffs in addition with everything else and not have to trade much for him since he's already hurt,
yeah,
maybe worth a shot.
The Clippers might have some draft picks in 2040 that they can give up.
But yeah, and then also give Dallas all their younger talent. Zubac gone. John Collins gone. Kobe Sanders gone. Bring in AD to play with Kawhi and James Harden.
Yep.
Man, in 2017, that would have been such a killer trio.
Oh, my gosh. Man, oh, man. You talk about 10 years ago. How frightening is that? 10 years ago. Hey, golly. It's 9 years ago, but close enough.
Okay. Now we can wrap up.
Yeah, now let's get out of here. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. And together we sing.
You are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up!
Hey!
Hey, you know, maybe Philadelphia Eagles will make a trade for Anthony Davis. AD for AJ. Why not?
AD for John Morant.
God, that's so dumb. It will probably happen. Oh boy, let's get out of here.
We'll see you next week.